All right, today's discussion will be a little bit shorter than yesterday. I don't really have as much to cover today. Yesterday we talked about the research guidelines. We talked about the outline for your paper and covered what I think is really important things about the overall structure of your essay and understanding the works cited page. While it's very important that you can have a kind of cheat method using sources from the databases. Hopefully you understand, though, that you've also got all of the information that you need to do other kinds of sources, whether it's a book or a website or a newspaper article, from your Siegel handbook. And that MLA tab in that book is really going to be a useful tool for you for this class, and then also for 1302 and any other research papers that you have to write in the future. Next week, we're going to be covering the other part of giving your sources credit, and that's parenthetical documentation. And then we're also going to be looking at paraphrasing, quoting, and summarizing, and what the difference between those terms mean and how to pull information from your sources without just copying and pasting everything. Really learning to make sure your paper flows from a source and your own words, and just doesn't sound like a bunch of copying and pasting all put together. That's going to be next week. We're also going to look at a sample paper next week that follows the 7-paragraph model that I've shown for your paper, and I think that will help you. You are actually not starting to write this paper until the week after that, when you write your thesis and your outline. So I'm not asking you to write this paper in the next week. I'm wanting you to really learn the different steps involved in writing a research paper, learning the important elements like the works cited page, and how to find sources, how to evaluate those sources. And that's where this assignment for the rest of this week comes in. All right, Thursday, by tonight at 11:59 p.m., you need to turn in your chapter 22 and 23 worksheet. Also, if you have not emailed me or sent me a remind message what issue you have chosen for your research, then please do that as well tonight so I can kind of evaluate everybody's. Again, you don't have to choose one from this list. I think this is a really good list, but if you like something else that you have thought of or that your group had thought of, then feel free to email me and just get it approved. All right. The assignment that will be due Sunday night is what we call an annotated bibliography. An annotated bibliography is where you evaluate a source. Over the next few days, I want you to start finding sources for your paper. Opposing Viewpoints, again, to me is the top database. This assignment, I am forcing you to use Opposing Viewpoints, but I did show you a couple of other ones like Medline and Academic Search Complete that I think are strong databases that have a lot of different articles and sources for you. But for this particular assignment, I want you to only use Opposing Viewpoints database. If you look at the model that I have posted, you'll see that it is not a long assignment. It's not that long at all. It's basically where you will include 3 things. One is the works cited entry at the top of your page. The next part is your summary and evaluation of that particular source. After you have found a source that you think you're going to use for your paper, then you need to use that cite tool, that cheat method, and copy and paste the works cited entry at the top. Here's an example of one from an article by Anne Lamott. So put the works cited entry at the top. You see I have the hanging indent. It's all double spaced. And then after that, you are going to summarize the article. And let me exactly tell me how many sentences I wanted you to put in there. I want you to do that in 3 to 5 sentences. And then I want you to evaluate the source in 2 to 3 sentences. So let's look at this sample summary. Lamott's article offers honest advice on the nature of a writing life, complete with its insecurities and failures. Taking a humorous approach to the realities of being a writer, the sections in Lamont's articles are wry and anecdotal and offer advice on everything from plot development to jealousy, from perfectionism to struggling with one's own internal critic. In the process, he discusses the various approaches to writing for instructors and publishers. So that's the summary of it. And then I want you to evaluate it. Lamont includes writing exercises designed to be both productive and fun. This particular book would be useful in my essay in the introduction paragraph. In addition, there are many short narratives I could use in my research. So in other words, I want you to see, okay, where would this source fit in my paper? What paragraph specifically, or what area? How is it going to be useful for me? Now, if you read through an article and you realize it's not going to be useful for you, then don't do that one for the annotated. I really want you to choose one that once you've read it, you think that it's going to be something you would use for your paper, okay? So again, 3 things included in the annotated bibliography: the works cited entry at the top, the summary, and then the evaluation. And you'll see that it's all double-spaced. You don't have to label it like I have here. That's just for your benefit. And you also don't have to put works cited entry right here. That's just me showing you a sample, okay? Make sure it has a heading and a header on it, and you will attach that to the assignment in week 10 that is inside the Opposing Viewpoints database folder. All right, and that is due by 11:59 Sunday night. So 3 things the rest of this week. 1, if you have not emailed me your issue or your topic choice, do that by tonight. 2, Chapter 22 and 23 worksheet is due tonight, and then your annotated bibliography is due by Sunday night. Again, look ahead next week. You see that we have 2 days of working on aspects of the research paper and learning some things, and then Thursday of next week, I'm giving you a research day. And so, again, this is not meant to be a rushed assignment. This is spread out to really try to let these different aspects of the research paper really settle with you. One other thing, in like 2 weeks, you have an MLA open book test. A lot of students, when they see open book, they think, oh, I don't have to study ahead of time. This is a time test, and it's important that you understand that while, yes, it's open book and you can use your notes and your Seagull handbook, you're going to have to be familiar with the overall structure of the MLA section in your handbook, as well as your notes, because there's no way you can really do well on this test unless you're at least familiar with the aspects of MLA. So if you have time this week, this weekend and the next week, start looking over that handbook. The first maybe 12 pages of the MLA section are devoted to parenthetical documentation. The rest of it is mainly the works cited entries and the different types of sources that you might use for a research. And then the last part is a model paper. Students in the past have also kind of highlighted different things in there that we've talked about. They have used sticky notes and kind of given themselves a little glossary or index within the MLA section, so that might help you keep up with your notes. If you haven't been taking good notes, then go back to week 9 and print some of the things that we've been talking about. Watch the videos again. In the databases that we talked about yesterday, I've also posted another video on databases where I'm kind of walking through the Opposing Viewpoints as well. So if you want to, another, lecture on it, you might want to watch that as well. All right, I think that's it. I'm giving you the rest of the time today to maybe even complete the annotated bibliography. You might could do it all in one 30 or 40 minute section. So finish your chapter 22 and 23 worksheet first, though, if you've not done that, because it's due tonight. All right. I'm looking forward to being back in the classroom next week, and I will see y'all on Tuesday.